The Netherlands in a national record, and Jamaica ran third. Trinidad and Tobago a little bit disappointing.
38.89 should at the moment get them through. Of course, there's semi-finals in this, so they'd be wanting to run quicker than that to get through to the final. Perhaps that's why they've rested Darryl Brown, because there's still another 2 rounds to go. No point resting him if you don't get through, though.
The fastest fourth place getters at the moment, 38.89, 38.94 and 39.01. So that gives you a benchmark as to what the Australians will be aiming for. There's Matt Shervington.
Starting the best part of his race, the start. Doesn't usually run bends, though.
Look at the times here. It's so even. Like, obviously Canada and Great Britain stand out, but Saudi Arabia, the Ivory Coast and Australia, it's going to be very tight for that third place.
This is all about the baton exchange here. I think that you'll see that the winner will definitely have the smoothest handoffs.
Well, the Australian team's been in good form. Patrick Johnson, we know his form, quarter-finalist in the 100. Not in the same sort of shape as he was earlier in the season. Matt Shervington the same, but Adam Basil ran 10.24 wind assisted in Italy, and Paul DiBella 10.37. It was only just windy.
I'll be interested to see how Patrick runs down the back straight, because part of where he was falling apart was his start, and you take the start off and take some pressure off him, and he may actually get into pretty good shape.
Full lineup: Canada in 2 times world champions, Ivory Coast 3, Australia 4, Italy in 5, Saudi Arabia in lane 6.
Canadians are on the inside lane. No Macron Zanaris having a rest.
Yeah, apparently there's some issues.
Tension.
Yeah, there's some issues in the camp there. I think there's too many people think they're world and Olympic champions already and forget that neither myself or Bruni or Glenn are on the track, so they'll figure it out.
I thought it was only the Australians that had issues in the team. Obviously, it spreads throughout the world.
Hey, it's a part of the Commonwealth thing. That's just what we have in common.
Matt Shervington very disappointed dipping out in the 100. But very honest as well.
Well, that's an interesting way to carry the baton around.
The Italians are interesting. They're like the Poles. They don't have any standouts, but they won the European Cup this year.
They're pretty fast at 38.4.
And it's a useful Great Britain and Northern Ireland lineup. Christian Malcolm to lead off the exchange to Dwayne Chambers. There's Christian, Marlon Devonish and Mark Lewis Francis, who hasn't been in great form, but he's the anchor runner.
It's a very good team. I'm not sure whether they'll bring, or in fact they are bringing Darren Campbell in the later rounds as well. They've got some depth in their sprinters at the moment.
Darren Campbell's had a heavy workload. The 100 ran third, and the 200 ran fourth in the final.
8 races.
So we'll watch the start from Matt Shervington, one of the strong points of his game.
Still confident about the Canadians, Donovan?
I'm still very confident about my country, for sure. They'll do well. Like I said, baton change is essential, and Glenroy has them. Glenroy, who's now the coach, has them on a tight rope.
Well, Great Britain and Northern Ireland will run their own race in lane number 8, that's for sure. Is that a positive, do you think, Donovan?
Sometimes it is, because it just, again, when you have, easy baton changes, it's just like practice. No one's around.
Starter stands them up. Well, if Australia's not up there in the mix with 200 to go, you'd think they're going to struggle with Shervington and Johnson, our 2 fastest, taking out the first 2 legs.
DiBella and Basil are hungry, though. They've been waiting around a long time.
And fresh.
So for them, the key is to get the baton around, without question. Another interesting thing being on the outside is that you feel like you're waiting the longest, because sometimes you stand on the inside and think his runner's going to get there quicker. You've just got to be, as Donovan said before, patient and wait until they hit the check mark.
There is the big man, Dwayne Chambers. We'll wait for the baton exchange from Christian Malcolm. And I'm sure he's eventually going to put it in the hand, the Italian lead-off for Francesco Scuderi. Now it's in the hand, and they're ready to go. Heat number 4, men's 4x100. Australia in lane number 4.
Hey.
Good start by Matt Shervington on the outside. Kristen Malcolm got a fair start as well. Also going okay is Saudi Arabia. And further out to Great Britain, look to be well in front. Good baton exchange to Dwayne Chambers. The Australians right there. Patrick Johnson trying to move up on the Italians on his outside. We'll see the third baton exchange for the Australians. They're right there in the mix. And a good leg here for the Australians by Paul DiBella. The anchor will be Adam Basil for the Aussies. He's got it now. They're back in about 4th place. Great Britain and Northern Ireland lead. In 2nd place, the Italians coming through Adam Basil. It'll be very tight for 3rd. He misses out on the inside. The Canadians got there. So Great Britain and Northern Ireland qualified ahead of Italy and Canada. Australia in 4th place.
I think they will go through. That's, I think, the fastest heat we've had. And they weren't that far behind. You can see, sadly, with Donovan sitting next to us, the Canadians come through and run us into 4th place.
You can criticize us, though. It's okay.
Gee, the Brits are going to have a very, very good chance of taking us out, I think.
Very good, yeah. And with Darren coming back in the fold, I think that they have a great chance, sure.
Season's best for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, 38.24.
I'm not sure who they're going to drop out of their team, actually, when you have a look at it.
It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Yeah, Darren could sit this one out.
The Italians ran well.
Watch their changeovers. Not a bad one. To Chambers. Then on to Devonish, who is more of a 200-metre runner. Hence the fact they'd put him on the bend.
Very smooth so far.
And then on to Mark Lewis Francis, who I think would be pretty disappointed with his season this year. He showed a lot of promise last year and hasn't really come through. Apparently lost quite a bit of confidence.
Let's take a look at the Australians. Didn't get to great baton change here between Matt Shervington and Patrick Johnson. The white flag has gone up, but you can see stretching and stretching and stretching, and that was just in. They did get it in, but only just.
Australia, the fastest non-automatic qualifier.
Well, they used to run faster. They ran 38.76, which is faster than they ran in Edmonton to finish 4th. So that's an indication of the strength of the run. DiBella coming into Basel, and this was a good change.
You would expect them to have the best change, though, when they didn't compete in the individual event, so they would have had a lot of practice with that changeover.
Now, Donovan, at the last change, DiBella was in front of Brown, so Brown did very well for the Canadians.
Yeah, Brown is our best sprinter, actually. Yep. He's our best 100-metre sprinter, and I was a little upset that he didn't run the individual 100 meters, but he's a little tired from the NCAA season. He was the 2nd year in a row he was 2nd in the 100 meters at NCAA and in the 200 meters. So he's actually our strongest sprinter, and certainly is the one that he's definitely our future anchor man. He's the guy that's going to take us there.
Equals 7th fastest time ever by an Australian team. Equals the time they ran in the heat.